Have you ever had a sore achy spot and wished you had a heating pad to put on it? Well, this is what we always had before, with just a heating pad with electricity, and you turned up the heat, and sometimes you're not careful, you wind up burning yourself because it heats up so high. I found another way, thanks to my sister, of doing this without having to deal with cables and cords, and it's very portable. It's these little heating pads right here. These are made out of flannel. You can make them in any color you want. You can make them any size you want, and you would fill them with either rice or barley or dried beans or anything that's organic. And it makes them very soft and pliable, and you can throw them in the microwave for a minute and then wrap it around whatever's hurting. And then when it cools down, you can throw it back in the microwave again. Now, these are not machine washable, because the natural materials inside will swell up if you wash them. So you definitely don't want to wash them. You can make another, like a pillowcase, and slide a case over it. That way, when the case gets dirty, you can throw the case in the laundry and wash it and then stick it back in. Or you can take the time to pick out the stitches, empty out whatever medium is inside, throw this in the washer, and then refill it and stitch it up again. Now, I always pre-wash everything first before I work with it. It helps soften the fabric, it takes the sizing out, and you'll have an exact size. Otherwise, when you wash it, if you do it after it's made, it could shrink even further. So it's better to have it fully shrunk before you actually start working with it and filling it. And you see I've got multiple ones. See, here's one for Halloween, and there's a blue one, butterflies, airplanes, anything you want. Oh, here, this is also another pretty one. This is a lighter color one, but it's got little bunnies on it. Great for a little girl. So now I'm going to show you how these things are made. Let me get these out of the way. Okay. You start with a piece of flannel, 1 yard long, folded in half lengthwise. I can't put a piece of flannel on this table here. It'd be way too big. So I'm using a piece of paper to pretend this is a piece of flannel. And you fold it in half, you measure yard this way. Now, one of them will give you 8 little bags out of it, and if you get the flannel on special, like I got my flannel at $6 about a week and a half ago, and it makes 8 bags. So if you divide 8 bags into $6, it's maybe 75 cents a bag, plus the cost of the medium that you put inside. So it makes a great stocking stuffer, gift for somebody, a get-well gift if they just come out of surgery. You could sell them at Etsy, ideal for craft shows. Sell them on eBay, put them in your own shop if you happen to have a shop. It's entirely up to you how you want to disperse them around, but they are very portable and they're very functional. So like I said, I took a piece of flannel and I took a ruler, yardstick actually, and at the 34-inch mark, I put a dot here, and at the 8.5-inch mark, 17-inch, and 25.5-inch, I put a little dot. Then you move it down and you do it again. Then you draw your lines here, 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 and here. And once you've drawn your lines, you're ready to cut. First thing I always do is cut the fold. And then I cut each of the individual sections out. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Now this is your design side. This is where all your pretty pictures are. When you get ready to sew it together, you would fold it in half, wrong side out. Then you would sew a seam about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and then you back tack here. Then you repeat it on the other side. You come down, go across, and back tack it. Once you've done that, what I do is, because to alleviate some of the bulk here, I trim little corners off just this one side, because there's 2 edges that you've got your sewing against. Here you just got one straight edge, so I never cut that one. It works really well without cutting it. So then once you have it cut, like here's one, you get your little corners cut, just a little bit, not all the way down. You just want to relieve some of the bulk. Then once you have it cut, you turn it right side out. And the sewing part doesn't take that long. It's just 2 straight seams. So this whole project, if you made them one at a time, would take you less than an hour a piece to make, which is really great. Then after you turn it right side out, you can do like my sister did, and she pressed it. So her little edges here are pressed down nice. I don't necessarily press mine. Here's one I've done. And I've got it all seamed up, but see, I didn't press that one, as you could tell. So what I would do next is get my medium. I like to use rice. Rice works really good for me. I get a 4-cup measuring cup, 4 cups, which is 32 ounces. And if you're European, it's 100 milliliters or 1 liter. I get a smaller one because I like to use a small one to pour the rice into the big one. And then I get a funnel that has a huge opening on it. The ones that I found works really good are the ones that are in your canning supplies, because you get one of these when you're canning preserves or vegetables or however you process food. If not, any funnel you can get that has a reasonable size here, because you got to be able to have the rice pour through it easily. So let me move this off to the side a bit. I'm going to fill this with 4 cups of rice. It's easier than trying to use a little cup and measure each cup one at a time. But if you wanted to do it in a little cup, 1 cup at a time, you're more than welcome to. There. Okay, I got about 4 cups of rice. Place your funnel in the hole. You want the hole to be just about the same width as the funnel. And what I do is I put 2 fingers on one side of the seam and 2 fingers on the other side of the seam, holding the fabric against the funnel, and of course the other finger is inside the funnel to help hold it. That way it's all the way around comfortably. Then you carefully pour your rice in. There we go. After you get the rice in, you can always use a straight pin to hold your edges down. And then you would back tack and seam right along the edge and back tack over here. And when you finish it, your heating pad is done. Let me build another one, which is a little lighter in color, because I didn't realize I had such a dark color. So I'll put the rice in this one too. Okay. So same thing. Hold it open. Put the funnel in your hole. Make sure the hole and the funnel are about the same size. I put 2 on one side of the seam, fingers, and I put 2 fingers on the other side of the seam, and my thumb holding the inside of the funnel. That way it keeps my fabric in position and you don't have any spillage. Then you slowly pour your rice in. That's why the big hole works out really well. Then after you're done, same thing. You can put a couple of straight pins in it. I only have 1 left. And it's not a very pointy one. And then you would tack here and sew across and tack right there. So once you're done, you have a bag. Like I said, these cannot be laundered, but you can take them apart by opening up the seam. Opening up the seam, pouring the rice into a container, throwing this in the washing machine. When you're done, then put the rice back in and sew it back up. Or, like I said, you can always make a case. I want to thank my sister for giving me this idea, because this is a great, quick, simple item to make that takes very little time at all, and it'd be ideal for craft shows. And I don't have the pattern here written out, but my little chart I showed you, if you want, since I left it kind of on the screen for a while, you can take a screenshot of it. That way you'd have your measurements right in front of you. But I found buying a yard at a time is very cost effective, because it does make 8. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 colors right now here at the house. and I've got them all cut up. So say 6 colors at 8, that's 48 little bags, and I spent maybe $24 for the 48 bags. So as you can tell, it is really inexpensive and cost effective. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button, because you never know what's going to come up next. Thank you for watching. One quick little note I forgot to say: if you fill them with 4 cups of rice and you feel 4 cups is not enough to fluff it, you can always put 5 cups of rice in. You just don't want to have so much rice that it won't fold over on itself.